we move to the second presentation from Dr. Benukar, Professor Dr. Benukar from India, Nadia in India. Would you please give your presentation, Dr. Benukar? May I invite Dr. Benukar for his presentation?
Thank you, sir. Let me share my PPT first.
Yes, we can see you.
Respected leaders of the SAARC region of agroforestry, of agriculture research, extension and policy making. Respected Dr. Harmur Rashid sir, the Director SSC, and Honorable Fariduddin Ahmed sir, the former Director BARC and the Chairman of this session. I'd like to thank the organizer for this unique opportunity to canvass our evidence-based experience on agroforestry as a nature-based solution for increasing cropping intensity while conserving biodiversity. An Indian philosopher 5,000 years back have expressed his concern. If we die, we are buried in the soil. If soil dies, Sir Chairman said, this concern is now hard reality. Yes, 100 million hectares, that is twice the size of Greenland, is being degraded per year, as per report of UNCCD. With a self-reinforcing feedback loop of climate change, biodiversity loss, carbon emission, more climate change, and we are among 3 hotspots of vulnerability, with more than 40% plant species already extincted. Leading a biodiversity productivity relationship where 750 million people in the globe are going to bed with an empty stomach due to this impact of land degradation driven in poverty. So to combat this, we require an integrated nature-based solution, creating a sustainable socio-ecological systems. The current challenge of sustainable agriculture narratives, and they are in the form of agroecology, conservation agriculture, sustainable intensification, organic agriculture, and so on. There are many more technologies, LISA. And their overlap and potential graph from where the concept of nature-based solution emerged. And the very important and potential tool of that NBS could be agroforestry. And I would like to thank my chairman and earlier speaker for repeatedly taking the name of agroforestry. So agroforestry and global warming, this sort of terminology needs no introduction at all. As all of you know, the deliberate inclusion of woody perennials in the existing land use system for benefit of the below ground and above ground environment for higher provisioning of to the end user of the farmer. And this is the classical agroforestry system based on composition. When you include forestry with agriculture, that is agri-silvi, or forestry with livestock, that is silvipastoral, or when you take 3 in 1 loop, that is agri-silvi. And these are some plantations we are maintaining at our Jhargram, that is All India Coordinated Research Project Station Farm of BCKB under the aegis of ICAR. And now does agroforestry as a nature-based solution is sustainable and the only, I think, sustainable pathway for crop production. Here the concept of agroforestry benefit is, if you see net benefit is equals to 2T. 2T means this is the from the timber or tree, from the tree input. And second is, if you go for monoculture, you will get this Y level of yield. But here there is two zones. One zone is zone of competition where you are going to lose the yield of the agricultural crops. And here is the zone of complementarity where you are getting higher yield. And there again, we are going to lose some crop yield here at the root zone. So our net benefit will be, the planning process will be much that we should accommodate these three pieces as valuable, as remunerative as much as it possible. Second, we can select the alley crops in the alley in similar fashion so that the competition should be, level of competition among tree and the alley crop will be minimum and complementarity will be the highest one. And the crop architecture of these trees will be such that they should give minimum shade effect to the, and minimum space competition for pest, and there should be complementarity in the root zone also, so that this tree pieces can act as a safety root zone. So these are the, we are accommodating some value-added trees in the form of rubber or banana fruit crops, so that higher income from the tree component. We are accommodating some location specific, that is here in the slope, erosion checking groundnut, like component crops that will optimize the resource use efficiency. Here also to increase the complementarity effect, we will show that it will create a congenial microclimate for the higher system productivity. And this is as the standards of the agroforestry for increasing copy intensity while conserving biodiversity, based on the criteria of integration, where we are accommodating more than 40% tree or shrub cover, with density more than 5 woody perennials per 100 meters square, multi-story, more than 2 woody layers per 200 meters square, and obviously the biodiversity, more than 8 taxa in 100 meters square. Now I'll be happy to share our experience for improving productivity and sustainability. Since I have started with the problem of land degradation, India is not out of that circle. We have already lost 30 million healthy land that cannot be restored. And Government of India already warned that more than 30% are prone to be degraded if we don't take appropriate measure right now. Dominating with the dominance of red and lateritic zone, the place of our experimentation, where it was once abundance, now become degraded. It was earlier virgin tropical moist deciduous forest. Due to political driven landscape transformation in the form of clearing forest in the riverbed areas to accommodate agriculture. During the colonial period, introduction of fast yielding multi-purpose trees, compromising forest biodiversity, and during the independence of India, taking over the right of entire forest area by the government without settling the right of Astrodravian tribes residing in the forest frame. That resulted deforestation, higher fuel wood extraction, higher grazing, forest fires, land erosions. So what will be the way out? Being agronomist or being agriculturist, we have to produce food, supply food to the burgeoning population. So there is a limited scope to reconvert the agricultural land into forest. Neither we have sufficient land for horizontal expansion of forest area. So win-win situation could be to introduce some timber species, forest species into existing agricultural land. So at our research station from 2014 to 24, we have compared 4 production systems. Melina, that is Gamar, representing a forestry, sweet orange representing horticulture, pigeon pea representing rain-fed legume of agriculture, and want to compare the multiple ecosystem services. So there was a gap based on our earlier experiment of long-term experiment. In the year 2022, we have proposed a ecological index called Comprehensive Evaluation Index that has been published in the Journal of Linear Production in the 2022. And again, it is ratified based on the data, based on the comments of around the globe, the experts comment from around the globe. We have again recalculated the greenhouse gas emission factor, and again we have published in the agriculture system in the year 2025. I would like to say it is a very open-ended, easy to calculate a index where we are taking, in our experiment, we have taken 52 parameters. And through principal component, we have identified 11 was that are dictating more than 90% of the variability. That 11 principal attributes we have transformed into uniform through a 0.1 to 1 scale, and we have calculated composite evaluation index as a weighted sum of transformed indicators. The result shows superiority of agroforestry over agriculture, horticulture, or forestry on multifunctionality index, soil organic carbon, soil enzyme, biodiversity, and obviously the economic return. For that, what farmers will be interested to adopt. And this is the correliogram of principal 11 components, that is net present value, net energy, biomass, greenhouse gas, carbon sequestration, soil pH, soil organic carbon, water stable aggregate, enzyme and dehydrogenase activity, microbial resilience index, Simpson diversity index of the earth tone. Here, it is clearly shows the opportunity, the trade-off, and there are trade-offs where we can further improve in the future experimentation and the synergy that. Now, this is the spider chart of generation of multiple ecosystem service, and this is the self-explanatory. This is the agroforestry and this is the agriculture. And here is the comprehensive evaluation index that provides a robust framework for evaluating multifunctionality, and it clearly shows 2 times higher potential of restoring degraded dryland over forestry, 3 times than that of horticulture, and more than 5 times than that of agriculture. We will present this. Now we have taken lab to land. We have taken a Lodha tribal village near to our experimental station, and we have introduced regenerative homestead agroforestry new concept to the world that we have been published and also expressed in the treescape in a South Asian agroforestry conference. And I would like to thank the opportunity to SAC, where I have presented first the concept of regenerative agroforestry also. This is it's a typically designed based on the ITK of the tribal villagers, the best location-specific crop and forestry assemblies to maximize the synergistic effect of biodiversity in crop production, protection, and supporting honeybees and the pollinator, as well as maximizing ecotourism revenues. This is the very simple components: no till, no chemical, no irrigation, integrated animal husbandry, integrated aquaculture, mulching, multi-layer polycropping, and bee cropping. This is a basic concept of changing from input suppliers' profit to farmers' profit, changing from the concept of climate-friendly from the destructive ecology. And this is the field air view of our that Lodha village of our study site. And what is the benefits? We have got ecological benefit in the form of 25% higher soil carbon after 8 years, with 80% higher mycorrhizal association and higher pollinator diversity. We have had economic transformation from 2 to 6% higher than that of agriculture, forestry, or horticulture. We have social outcome in the form of diversified income, 80% of the family participation, higher school enrollment, and higher improved nutrition. You'll be happy to share that we have had we have had a teacher, school teacher, who have, with his support, we have been able to go enroll all the children, and they are the first generation school children from that village. The result, regenerative homestead agroforestry deliver integrated ecological restoration, livelihood enhancement, cultural revitalization. The strategic extension in tribal areas coupled with ecotourism and direct marketing can benefit sustainable development and long-term community resilience. So what are the way forwards? Identification of site-specific agroforestry models for scaling up, integration with climate action, and regional collaboration under SAARC. What the chairman said also asked, talking about the importance of collaboration. Now we'd like to conclude that we need promotion of site-specific agroforestry for biodiversity-friendly intensification. And I would like to conclude with the famous quote of Rachel Carson in her book Silence Spring, that in nature, nothing exists alone. So we need biodiversity for intensity. With this, I'd like to share the picture of a student of that tribal village, and it is written in Bengali, that is Khwab dream village.
Wow.
And I'd like to share this picture, which tells all about my presentation. And thank you, Tanvir sir. Thank you, Taslima madam. Thank you, Rashid sir, for this unique opportunity. And I'm really glad to express our evidence-based experience in this August forum. Thank you. Thank you again.
Wow, what a wonderful presentation. I'm really impressed by the presentation. This is exactly what we need for Bangladesh, especially for the for Chittagong Hill Tracts. And to be honest, we have been doing it a bit. We took some projects in Chittagong Hill Tracts, which exactly resembles what you had been telling, and I'm so happy. I would like to request our secretariat that in future, if there is a workshop like this or a discussion like this, webinar like this, we should invite all universities, because in Bangladesh there are many universities which are where there is courses on agroforestry. At least in 3 universities who teaches only forestry, they have a course in agroforestry. And there are agriculture universities, many universities there. There is a course on agroforestry, and your presentation would definitely help people in Bangladesh, I would say simultaneously in Nepal and Bhutan. This is a wonderful presentation. It gives a guideline for us to manage our land in hill areas. Of course, what you said in the rural areas, in Kwabga, as you said, even in homestead, without any intervention, if we allow regenerative agriculture, regenerative agroforestry, that gives tremendous benefit. In both the presentations, I have observed that you have not highlighted biomes, bacteria in the soil. So, in biodiversity, that is very, very important. In agroforestry, what you have really mentioned about mycorrhiza, how it helps. And something is very interesting. Even mycorrhiza help in dissemination of food from mother tree to its children, its baby plant. So that's very important. I mean, if we can enrich soil microbes through this kind of system, I mean, it's not only biodiversity that we see in above ground, but under the ground also there is tremendous change and tremendous soil improving characteristics that require less fertilizer to I mean nurture our crops to have production from the crops. So one request for SAARC Agriculture Centre, please next time it's not 20 participants. I would say it would have been 200 participants, especially with participants from universities, students that or professionals, the NGO workers who are working on agroforestry in Bangladesh. Dr. Benukar, I'm really impressed with your presentation and got lots of message for Bangladesh.
Thank you, sir, and it is my real blessings. In the morning, I am going to present in the 8th European Agroforestry Congress at Neuchâtel, Switzerland right now.
Oh,
and this is my blessings. I am going to share that regenerative homestead agroforestry to promote ecotourism in tribal areas.
Exactly. This is, in fact, in Bangladesh, these are happening, but we could not study it with that lens. The way you have identified, you have seen it with your lens. We have not seen it in Bangladesh. Also, in homestead, now people have started planting trees, but in the past they were retaining only the trees those were coming naturally in that area. But now people are planting as there is promotion from the government. Plant more trees. Save environment, save nature, I mean, save biodiversity. That's why people are planting. Even our government has recently declared that they will be planting 25 million trees in Bangladesh in next 5 years, and we are planning for 5 million tree planting every year. So it's not necessarily that we have to plant trees. Rather, if we allow trees to come naturally, that helps more than planting trees in an area. That is the message. And I would say this presentation, through this presentation, I'm requesting our secretariat to collect these presentations and share with our universities so that they can learn from your presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And I beg your pardon. I have to.
Yes, I understand.
Please excuse me.
Yeah.
And if there is a question, I will be happy to receive a question before leaving the session, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Now I leave the floor for present. Yeah, there is a question from Dr. Ruben. Okay. Most welcome, Dr. Ruben. I think you wanted to ask a question.
Yes. A quick question to Dr. Biswas, Professor Biswas. Thanks for that great presentation. I just because we are working in Assam and you have these homestead models, the body system that you have, and we're looking at how are these actually either going to be conserved or going to be scaled. One of the things is I wanted to ask is, while these models exist, the pace of adoption has generally been kind of slow, or the uptake has been slow. And would you have some sort of pointers into exactly why the pace of uptake by sort of farmers and has been kind of slower than expected? Just also because of the fact that there are a lot of economic sort of benefits as you've presented beyond the biodiversity benefits. Why is that pace of adoption not as expected? Yeah,
sir, what I have told you, it's really I have got 10% success, 90% failure to make in a society change, particularly at village level. Those who are working, they face the music. But we have already, if we develop a model, then it will be very easier for further second stage of adoption. In our Jharkhand condition, we have made a mother garden in one farmer's house, in farmer's farmland. That has now become a mother garden for mother source of the mother plants. We have 99 all varieties of 33, more than 33 or 34 fruit and flowers that are yearly all round bearing. At least 4 times they are giving. So these are, and second thing, we are promoting ecotourism also. and that eco-tourism now, that Lodha village, their livelihood has been so improved because of the donations they are getting from the tourists, and they are collecting handcrafts from the tourists. There was but you have to come. I request the Sikandar sir to arrange such physical program at Jhargram. We will be happy to host them. Not only for you, but for I am here to canvass our ecological index. So we will be happy to share our experience for multiplication in the sub-region. Thank you for your question, and thank you for taking the term agroforestry in your presentation repeated times.
Yes, it's a very important part of the entire sort of discussion on biodiversity, long-term biodiversity program design. Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Sir, if you allow me,
Yeah, Dr. Sikandarji.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I want to say thanks to both our presenters. Very wonderful presentations, sir, Dr. Ruben Jargan and Dr. Venkata Biswas, sir. Thank you very much. And Dr. Ruben has very clearly indicated that what we are getting, what yield we are getting, what we are paying for this. We only think about only fertilizer or water or cultivation expenditure, but in the system we are paying a lot as a human resource, our climate, our other resources. That is great. We should consider all these things for our overall calculations for any cropping system, any agriculture output. And Dr. Biswas said, thank you very much. I want to repeat your that words that by Richard Carson said, in nature, nothing exists alone. Thank you very much, sir. Any other question? I think, Dr. Taslima, we should have a group photo of this.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
I have one question. Please.
Okay.
Can I ask? Oh, okay. Thank you, Dr. Biswas, for nice presentation. Actually, last year we had some meeting on agroforestry, a regional consultation on agroforestry. Unfortunately, we miss you, but yeah, what we identified number of issues like socioeconomic issues and the agroforestry adoptions or the model adoption. Usually, we see in the field that wherever there is an industry or industrial support, the agroforestry of that species is getting popular among the farmers. And second one is there is also tenure issues, like usually the land is being hired or it is being on lease. So the plantation goes to the owner of the land as compared to the practitioner or the farmer. So we identify like these issues, and that I think that are the bottlenecks which make the community forestry or the agroforestry not a bit in a good shape. So based on your experiences, you talk about the mycorrhiza. So mycorrhiza is a very good blessing, and especially in terms of phosphorus availability. And we do recommend it in that we should have the nitrogen fixing species. And from that meeting, we came into conclusion that we should have a very strong interaction among the South Asian countries in terms of species exchange or expertise exchange or things like that. So I think that should be a very good thing if we can make it effective instead of just theoretical. We have to take models to different countries, like India have good models, homestead forestry, agroforestry from Bangladesh. These are quite new for Pakistan or for other countries.
Yeah.
So if you can add up, thank you.
Sir, Dr. Fariduddin Saab?
No, I just,
Sir?
I think as time is running out and Professor Rahim would be Just
Sir,
I
sir, one thing. You have suggested that there should be many people to join this meeting. Thank you very much for suggestion. Last month we arranged different webinars. We invited a lot number of people throughout the world. People joined it. In this meeting, we only invited the focal points of the different SAARC member states.
yeah.
Two people from the different SAARC member states are joining this meeting, sir. So number of participants are less. This is the
Yeah.
reason.
So my request would be, if possible, share this presentation with universities. That's one. As time is running out, I just wanted to add to this presentation that I request you to look for Google. Google. In Bangladesh, we had very interesting studies in early 2000, 2001, 2, 3, 4. In that period, we have studied agroforestry in northern part of Bangladesh, especially in Rajshahi, Rangpur, Dinajpur, Bogura, this district. We have tested 36 species both in cropland and in the homestead. So we left with the people that they can choose species that are suitable for them. Then there was a big shift. Initially, I just give you another message that at that time, we have observed that in nurseries, people had been growing more timber trees. And gradually, the number of timber trees started reducing, and within 5-6 years, horticultural species started jumping on or exceeding timber trees, because the main species at that time was shishu, Dalbergia shishu. So we had disease in that species, dieback, and that was one of the reasons that shishu started declining. That was reflected in nurseries, and there was more fruit trees. And you will hear from Professor Rahim what kind of activities we took. At that time, I was working for Intercooperation, a Swiss organization for development for international cooperation that was funded by SDC. So we had been planting initially timber trees in the homestead along with fruit trees, and gradually fruit trees took up that place. In Chittagong Hill Tracts, we started that kind of program, exactly what Professor Benukar was telling. And from horticulture to ultimately it ended with bamboo, growing bamboo, because at one stage horticulture production started declining. So that was a very interesting trend. If I had time, I could explain more, but as we have already, already running out of time, I would love, as chair, I would like to thank you all, especially the regional consultations, especially the SAARC Center in Bangladesh, and also all SAARC member countries. Thank you for your excellent presentation. And again, I request, please share this presentation with others. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for a nice conduction of this session. We are very happy that every time, whenever we seek the help from our honorable research, sir always extend his hand. Thank you again. Thank you all the presenters. So may I request our IT experts to take a group photo. Sir, please stay with us, and I'm requesting all of you to turn on your camera, please. We would like to take a group photo for each session because the speakers are very busy. So that's why we don't want to lose anyone. So please, could you please turn on your camera? Asif, please take a group photo and let me know once you complete. Thank you.
Yes.